Are Australians paying too much for our own gas? Here's the story. East Coast Australia has been extracting natural gas for more than half a century, and it used to stay here. But in the last decade, we've been able to export this gas. It wasn't possible before simply because there were no terminals to transfer our gas to other countries. That changed in 2015 when 3 export terminals were built in Queensland. But since we've started exporting East Coast gas, largely to Japan and China, we've had to compete with other nations for those natural resources, and it's led to a tripling in the prices Australians pay for gas. How does that work? I spoke to an energy and economic analyst specialising in the Australian gas industry, and he explained it like this. Countries like Japan and China don't have enough domestic gas to meet demand, so companies can charge them higher prices. And if the companies can sell their gas overseas for much better prices, why would they cut Australians any slack? Being tied to an international gas market means we are subject to price shocks. For example, if European countries will pay a higher price for gas due to the invasion of Ukraine and sanctions on Russian gas, companies will expect us to match that price too. It's simple capitalism, really. Why would they sell Wayne gas for $4 a gigajoule when Friedrich over in Germany will pay $14 for it? This is why in federal parliament this week, Bradfield Representative Nicolette Buller put forward a motion calling on the government to tighten regulations on the gas industry and force it to offer gas at a reasonable price to Australians before it is shipped overseas. When we asked Buller to clarify what a reasonable price would look like, she said she wanted to see genuine supply and demand conditions in Australia and not export-driven distortions. She gained the support of Western Sydney MP Ed Husic, who broke ranks with the Labor Party to say Buller was on the money and that we can't let gas companies dictate prices on Australian gas. In May, Husic was dumped by PM Anthony Albanese from the Labor ministry, a victim of the party's brutal factional system. A man once seen as leadership material had been banished to the back blocks. He's since felt a little more freedom to say what he thinks, and that included a call in July for Palestinian statehood. In a previous role as the Federal Minister of Industry, Husic was also highly critical of the gas sector, which he labelled as tone-deaf and greedy. With all this talk of gas, you might wonder, wait, aren't we ditching gas? The answer is yes, but while Australia is moving towards a net zero economy, gas still has a role to play in that transition, according to the Clean Energy Council. The Australian Energy Market Operator has stated that as we shift towards renewable energy and coal-fired power stations are shut down, gas will play an important role in covering seasonal gaps of energy supply.